presentation about consumer markets and buyer behavior. My name is Nindya Putri Salsabila 296. First, I will explain about consumer markets. The consumer market is where all individuals and households buy or acquire goods and services for personal consumption. Consumer refers to individual and household who buys goods and services for personal consumption. All final consumers combine to make up consumer market. Therefore, consumer market consists of individuals who buy a definite good or service. The Malaysian consumer market contains more than 27 million people who consume several millions of ringgits worth of goods and services annually. Consumers in a country vary significantly in terms of age, level of education, fashion, and taste. These consumers buy large volume of goods and services, and it is very difficult to find a product that has been accepted collectively in the entire population. Small percentage of households may not consume some existing products available. Therefore, not everyone in the population would be a potential consumer to those products. The allocation of consumers according to various market sectors differs in both time and space. Markets undergo and reflect the influence of opinion, the privilege, fashion, taste, and societal characteristics. However, markets also vary from place to place according to different societal structure. Other variables that play vital roles include income and type of occupation. Less educated individuals with lower income may be great consumers of goods. Okay, that's all from me. For the next will be explained by my partner. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Putri Ayu Dilla A.I. My student number is 2019-310-299. Here I will continue the presentation from my friends, and we will talk about what is the definition about consumer buyer behavior. So, consumer buying behavior refers to the action taken both on and offline by consumer before buying product and service. This process may include consulting search by engine, engaging with social media posts, or a variety of other actions. So I think it is valuable for businesses to try understand this process because it helps businesses better tailor their marketing initiative to the marketing effort that have completely successfully influenced consumer to buy in the past. And then we can see in the paper, we explain how to determine the buyer behavior, so the marketer ought to figure out what is in the buyer black box. So let's talk about what's inside the buyer black box. There exists two parts. One, the characteristic of the buyer that affect how the buyer perceive and react to the stimuli. Two, the decision process that influence the behavior of the buyer.
Thanks for the opportunity. My name is Muslimatul Ulfa. My study number is 301. Here I will explain about factors affecting consumer behavior. Consumers are influenced by several factors such as cultural, social, personal, and psychological characteristics. These factors cannot be controlled but must be carried along. Number 1 is cultural factor. Culture is defined as human attitudes and beliefs. Culture exerts a broad and high degree of influence on consumer. Thus, marketer needs to understand the role that it's being played. Number 2 is social factor. Behavior is influenced by a group that have direct influence and to which a person belongs is referred to as membership. Number 3 is personal factor. Personal factors that influence consumer behavior include buyer age and life cycle stage, occupation, economic situation, lifestyle, and personality. And the last number 4 is psychological factor. The psychological factor that influence buying choice and individual comprise of motivation, perception, learning, and attitude. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks for the opportunity. My name is Risma Novita Putri and my last student ID is 304. Today I will explain about types of purchasing decision behavior. Basically, consumer purchasing decisions are different. This can depend on the type of purchase decisions. The decision to buy a pet shop, sports equipment, and computers is of course very different. The types of purchasing behavior are: the first one is complicated buying behavior. In this type, consumers are said to be making complicated purchases if they are involved in purchasing activities where there is a big difference between brands. The seconds are purchase inconvenience reducers. If the consumers finds difference in quality between the brands, he or she may choose the higher price. If the consumers find small difference, he or she will probably buy based solely on price and convenience. The third are buying behavior out of habit. In a buying activity, there are many products that are purchased in conditions of low consumer involvement, and there are no significant difference between brands. For example, bed soap. Consumers will have little involvement in that type of product. They go to a shop and pick up a certain brand. If they keep taking the same brand, it's out of habit, not out strong brand loyalty. The fourth are purchasing behavior that seeks variety. These types of purchasing behavior is characterized by low consumer involvement in significant brand difference. In this situation, consumers often switch brands. One example of this type of purchasing can be seen in purchasing pastries. In this buying activity, consumers have some beliefs about pastries. Choose pastries without doing a lot of evaluation and evaluate the product during consumption. However, in the next opportunity, consumer may take other brands because they want to find a different taste, and brand switching occurs because of the desire to look for variation, not because of dissatisfaction. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fajar Shiddiq A.F. My student number is 307. I will explain the steps in the purchasing decision-making process. There are 5 steps in the purchasing decision-making process. Point number 1, problem recognition. Consumers will be product as a solution to the problems they face without an introduction to the problem. At its risk, comment cannot decide which product to buy. Point number 2, information source. After understanding the exciting problem, consumers will be motivated to seek information to solve exciting problems through information search. The process of searching for information can come from within memory or internal and based on the experience of other or external. Point number 3, alternative evaluation. After consumers get various kinds of information, consumers will evaluate the available alternative to overcome the problems they face. Point number 4, purchase decision. After the consumers evaluate several strategic alternatives that exist, the consumers will make a purchase decision. Sometimes the time it takes between making a purchase decision and creating an actual purchase is different due to other things to consider. And the last point number 5, post-purchase evaluation. Post-purchase evaluation is an evaluation process carried out by consumers, not only ending at the purchasing decision-making stage. After buying the product, consumers will evaluate whether the product in accordance with their expectation. In this case, satisfied and unsatisfied consumers will happen. Consumers will be satisfied if the product in accordance with that experience and will further increase the demand for the product brand in the future. That's all presentation from us Group 5. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.